Savings and insurance giant Standard Life has been in India for over a decade now in partnership with HDFC. But we ask this question regularly because it's a relevant question. Is the regulatory environment in India still stifling growth and expansion for a company like Standard Life? I'm going to pose that question to Gerry Grimstone, Chairman of Standard Life. Mr. Grimstone, great to have you here. Before we start with the negative question about whether or not the regulatory environment is holding back Standard Life in India, first off, you wear another hat, which is Chairman of the City UK. And describe the City UK for us, and I'll take it from there.
Certainly. The City UK, it's the body which represents financial and related professional services in the UK. As you know, financial services are extremely important to the UK economy. I'm the chairman, I'm the spokesperson for the sector, and we have our members are all the large firms, lots of medium and small size firms, and really our job is to represent the views of the sector in the UK.
So is there a lot of work for the City UK in representing here in India?
Of course, London is very interested in India. Financial services are very important. A lot of business goes on between London and India, so it's a very big interest of our members coming to India.
Has that interest waned at all in recent months, say the last year?
Of course, things are a little bit more difficult than they have been, but people look through that. They look through it to the medium term. Markets change. One of the wonderful things about financial markets is that they're always changing. There's a little bit of a dip now, of course, in India, but everybody expects the good times to come back again eventually.
I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but I believe in your role at the City UK, you had a busy day in Mumbai yesterday. What did it involve, or can we not talk about that?
Yes, we certainly can. I had a very good meeting at SEBI with Mr. Rajan there, who's one of the executive directors on the board. And then we were fortunate enough to have a meeting with Governor Rajan at the RBI. And of course, it was such a busy day for him yesterday with his first monetary policy announcement. So it was great to see him. I took a group of half a dozen very, very senior bankers, all at CEO level, to meet him. Of course, huge interest in him, huge interest in the RBI. And it was very, very gratifying that he found nearly an hour of his time to spend with us yesterday.
What was the central message of that group that you took to meet Governor Rajan, if you can share that?
Encouraging him in his work. I mean, the shared interest we both have is to bring long-term, stable investment into India. Investment that's going to stay here and work for the benefit of the Indian economy and the Indian people. We applauded his actions. We applauded his independence. The market really likes good, strong, independent central governors. I think he's made his mark already. Of course, people know him well for his extremely valuable work over the last few years. He understands markets very well. We feel that he talks our language. We talk his language. So there was a lot of mutual respect, I felt, on both sides in the meeting.
Changing gears, Standard Life. It's been here in India for a decade with HDFC in partnership. Take stock.
It's been a tremendous 10 years. We have two very strong businesses here, one in life assurance, HDFC Life, and one in asset management, HDFC Asset Management Company. We're pretty much one of the top insurance companies in India. We are the top asset management company in India. Who could expect to have done better than that over a 10-year period?
But I'm sure there have been challenges as well, and continuing challenges. I mean, when I said at the outset, are you being held back? Potential for growth is enormous, but there are restraints.
I always respect regulators in the countries in which we operate. I mean, regulators are part of the democratic process in any company. The IRDA does a good job. All the industry wants is consistency. I think it's actually been very good that the IRDA has tightened standards in the industry. Buying these long-term savings products is a very important decision for the customer. The customer has to trust the product. Commission can be very pernicious in this marketplace. I mean, the job of the salesperson is to help the customer find the product that suits them best. It's not to earn the most commission for the agent or for the bank. So many things that the IRDA has done has been absolutely in the right direction, and strong companies like us welcome that. I suppose the only slightly negative has been the pace of change.
Yes.
Sometimes. These are very complex businesses, insurance companies, and we're not very good at kind of zigzagging along a road, but the general direction of travel, I think, has been absolutely right for the IRDA.
And for HDFC Standard Life, would it be basically a steady move like it's been in recent years? Or, are you looking for any new growth areas, new focus areas in India?
We're finding much more interest in people wanting to buy products online.
Yes.
I mean, if I was sort of to predict what the big change in the marketplace will be over the next few years, it will be much more direct dealing with customers. Customers becoming much more savvy. They do their own research. They go online. They buy their products. We love that because it gives us a direct relationship with the customer, and I can see that segment of the market is bound to grow.
Are you watching the moves on the pension side by the government? I mean, Standard Life has much more beyond insurance to operate in. What are the changes that you're observing here which could offer you an opportunity, Standard Life an opportunity?
Certainly. Well, even though we're called Standard Life, actually we think of ourselves as a savings and investment company. What we really are, it's a safe home for people's long-term savings. Pensions is a very, very big business for us elsewhere in the world. We have set up a pension company with HDFC. We like very much being in partnership with HDFC. We have a very close relationship with them. I keep very close to my great friend, Mr. Deepak Parekh, who's been a wonderful leader of HDFC over the last years. And of course, those partnerships are to be treasured and valued. You have to pay attention to any partnership. But we're very pleased with our relationship and how the businesses have done.
How do you see the pensions business shaping up?
I think it will shape up like it has in all markets around the world. People will gradually realise the importance of it.
Because it's very small right now.
It's very small right now. People save in different ways in India, and habits take a long time to change. In the UK now, we have what's called auto-enrolment in company pension schemes. You can opt out of that, but a worker is automatically enrolled into his company's pension scheme. That's been tremendously successful. Only about 10% of workers are choosing to opt out, and it's becoming the saving route of choice for many people in the UK. I wouldn't be at all surprised. The trend in the world is to move in that direction. So I'm sure eventually that will come to India.
Let's pause for a moment. You have your finger on the pulse of what many British businessmen are thinking about India right now. You said, look, yes, the immediate term's been shaky, but I think in the medium term, there is still a lot of interest in India. Expand on that, because sitting here, all we keep looking at is slowing growth, widening current account deficit, and inflation, which is, well, seemingly tough to handle. Yes, we have a new governor at the Reserve Bank of India, and so there's hope. But what I want from you is an insight into what British businessmen are thinking about India right now.
They are frustrated at times. The opportunities here are immense. And sometimes, I suppose, even friends of India like myself, we feel that India is its own worst enemy. The ability to get things done sometimes is very frustrating. I'll give you an example. The insurance bill has been mooted for the last, 5 years, 10 years. I've been to India so many times with the expectation that something is going to happen. I've never understood why taking a limit on investment from 26% to 49% is so controversial. I quite understand why Parliament may not want foreigners to be able to control Indian insurance companies. But really, what is the practical difference between 26% and 49%? And it's been frustrating for the industry that this has become a matter of high politics as opposed to a matter of finance. It should have been left to the individual partners to decide amongst themselves, between themselves, as to what was the appropriate percentage for their company. Some companies might have the foreign investment increase, some might not. Some companies are moving towards an IPO, and there may be foreign institutional investors, some may not. But these things should be settled at the company level. And that's just an example of how things can be frustrating in India. The thing that concerns me a little bit, it's not just outsiders who find India frustrating. Increasingly, I find very senior Indians finding India frustrating. But this is a matter that can be cured within India. So I hope very much to
can be cured. It hasn't been cured.
But it has to be. It has to be cured. And I think people I talk to, everybody realizes that. Nobody really defends the status quo. They're never quite sure how to move on from there. I'm quite sure that eventually sufficient political momentum behind change. The challenge is it's not one big thing that needs to be done within India. It's lots of little things. You must know better than I do the frustrations in the system sometimes, the little bottlenecks that exist. And my hope is that one day India will start getting to grips with that, and one by one take away those bottlenecks so that the natural juices can start flowing in this economy again.
Well, on that optimistic note, Gerry Grimstone, thank you very much for talking to us.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.